You bring up a really good point. Um, that I think you may not have realized you raised a really good point. What I think a lot of people don't really recognize is that our form of government, from the time it was founded as a democratically governed constitutional republic with a constitution, Article 1 lays out Congress, Article 2 lays out the presidency, Article 3, the judiciary. Those are our three branches of government. Our entire form of government is based on trust. At the end of the day, it's based on trust. The founders put trust in an electorate in trusting that they wouldn't elect a lunatic, that they wouldn't elect a con man or a zealot or a whack job. And, it's based on the trust that at the end of a president's term, they will voluntarily transfer power to the next person, which Donald Trump tried to stop in January of 2020 following the 2020 election. That had never, ever happened before. The entire thing is based on trust. Even with things like gerrymandering, you know, even though the concept of one person, one vote is not explicitly laid out in the Constitution, I'm going to say something and then I'm going to qualify it. There's a level of trust there that everybody who's eligible to vote gets to vote and that their vote counts just as much as everybody else's. Gerrymandering takes that away. I will qualify that first statement by, because you can't not, well, I don't like double negatives. You absolutely have to recognize our history. That when this country was founded, it was founded on 250 years of slavery. It was founded on 300 years of the slaughter of First Nations, Native American people and tribes and stealing their land. And it was founded on women not being able to participate in the democratic process and not being able to have jobs and checking accounts and things like that. That's the foundation. We've come a long way since then, but that's the foundation. But the entire thing was set up on a system of trust, not force. And the things over the last, well, first of all, the right has never gotten over losing the Civil War. They just haven't. They've never gotten over that. They've never gotten over that. And so I think so much of what we're experiencing today is basically relitigating that. You, you know, I mean, I earlier I talked about, I think it might have been last night, I talked about an article that I saw from, I think it was a newspaper in Pennsylvania, that school libraries, the librarians were scouring the shelves and removing any and all books that taught anything about or referenced anything having to do with slavery and the civil rights movement. They've never, ever gotten over losing the Civil War. And that's a huge part of why we are where we are today. And if you look at right wing media and what it has done, I mean, we're at, I think, 28 years of Fox News. They for 29. They first went on the air in 1996 on the heels of Rush Limbaugh, especially what the last decade of right wing media has become. It's, and you look at the campaign that Donald Trump ran this past summer, explicitly and unapologetically racist, misogynistic, bigoted, homophobic, transphobic, and ableist. We are in what I hope is the last dying gasp of white supremacy, patriarchy, But the whole thing's based on trust, and that trust is gone, totally gone on both sides.